Hello and welcome to the Saved Sinner YouTube channel. This is my first ever video I'm going to be posting on this channel. And since this is my first video, I thought I should share something personal with you guys. I've been a Christian for like less than a year. Well, okay, for context, I have always kind of believed in Jesus, but I was never like really close to him. Like I had tried to read the Bible and I always started with like Genesis and it was really boring to me. But then as the stresses of life, kind of caught up with me, I started to try and read the Bible, and not like the Old Testament, the New Testament. So I started with Matthew, and ever since then, I've been really trying to connect with God, and I've really enjoyed being with God. But this wasn't too long ago. I saw God, and for a little bit of context of the situation I was in was I know a lot of people in my life that are not very religious, and people that I really care about, like the two that come to my mind are my girlfriend and my sister, and everyone else in my family, like they kind of believe in God, but kind of like in like the way where people don't really go to church that much. And I'm not saying this like I'm much better. I mean, like that's how I was for a long time. And I still, even though I believe way more than I used to, I still, make mistakes like everyone. But it was on Easter, I got into like kind of like a little bit of debate with my sister about if God's real. And it didn't like devolve into an argument. We were like still being pretty civil. But that's whenever it's with my girlfriend, sometimes it kind of feels like an argument, even though it's not really. She just like feels like I'm pushing religion onto her, which it's not. I guess that is technically what I'm trying to do, but not out of a place like I'm right, you're wrong. It's just I care about people. I care about these people in my life. But my friends are more receptive to the idea, and same with my family. But basically, in short, I had been trying to get a lot of people that I care about to care about God as well, and it just doesn't work. And that kind of put me in a place of being sad, I suppose. So there was one morning where I woke up and I decided, I'm taking mental health day, I'm skipping school. And the first thing I did was I prayed the rosary. And then I was just praying a lot and I felt really close to God after that. And then I got home, I think it was from work, and I started being the most genuine I had ever been when praying. And I asked God to please just give me a way to talk to people about you more, and please just give me a way to convince the people around me that God is real. And then this entire sequence of events that happened after this really shocked me, because I thought for a second, what if God isn't real? And I just stayed grounded. As soon as that thought popped up into my head, I just imagined like a demon saying it to me, and I just disagreed completely. I was just like, no, that's not even possible. And then I sat there for a second, and then I heard a voice in the back of my head say, "He is here." And I just think for a second, is what I just heard real or is that just in my head? And then I see a gold light go from the back of my head. Well, it felt like it was coming from like behind me, but it was in front of me. I just see a flash of gold hit me in the face. And I look back at my TV to see if anything was on. It was just completely off. And there was no light source around me other than the candles that were in my prayer corner. But it was not like flickering of a fire. It was a flash of light that hit me in the face, and it genuinely confused me for a second, and it shook me. And it was like so against what I thought could happen that my head kind of started to hurt. Not like a painful, but like it was like I was trying to understand something that I could not understand. And I'm not gonna lie, I freaked out after this happened. Like my hands were trembling a little bit. I immediately ran to my brother, who was also a Christian, and I start telling him about this. And it was kind of funny because his reaction was like, it wasn't like he wasn't weirded out or anything. It was just like he saw it as cool. And he immediately went into my prayer corner and started praying because he thought it was cool that had happened to me. But I was really tired before I started praying, and then I was just like wired after this. Like for like an hour or two, probably like closer to 2. I just couldn't sleep after that. And I make it sound like it was like a horrible experience, like I was afraid and stuff, but it was actually really cool. And it was just confusing. It wasn't scary, really. Well, I was scared, but it was out of confusion, not because like God was torturing me or anything. The craziest part about the story that I didn't realize until like, I don't know, half hour later is I kind of started to rethink about what I had said and everything. I literally asked God for a way to talk to people I care about, and he just immediately gave me a story. So like the next day at school, I was able to tell everyone about it. But I kind of realized it didn't really change much. Nobody really started to like, nobody else started coming to church with me after that. Nobody like became more faithful. If anything, it just removed doubt from me, which maybe at the end of the day, that was the point. You know, like people only really, they don't hear a story about God and are immediately convinced that he is real. So maybe it wasn't for everyone else. Maybe it was for me. Maybe God saw the faith that I had in that moment and rewarded me with seeing his presence. And that's what's actually great about God is no matter if everyone else disagrees with you, it doesn't really matter because we as Christians know the truth and nobody can really take this relationship we have from God with us. But anyway, I think that about wraps everything up. So, see ya.